Hey guys, so we're going to be reviewing the game Sharks versus Scarlets. And before I start, I actually just want to bring you up to date with the starting lineups, and then we'll go into how the game panned out. So on the Sharks side, the Sharks started with 9 Springboks. Yep, 9 Springboks. Starting lineup, 3 on the bench, and 4 players that have been attending Springbok alignment camps in the past year. So that's your Ethan Hooker, Julies, and so forth. And they were the home team, all right? So whatever comes after this, in terms of my comments, just take notes. That was the current situation in terms of the type of players that the Sharks put on the field, okay? So the only thing that happened, literally the only thing that happened in the first half was that the first points were scored on the 38th minute penalty. And I think a minute later, the Scarlets scored their penalty. So the halftime score was 3-3. 3-3. Remember who I quoted was playing? All right. And this is a home team, by the way. And overall, there were no tries. 4 penalties to the Sharks and 1 to Scarlets. The Sharks won 12-3. Exciting. Yeah, I know. You can see it in my face. I was very excited. Let's look at how the performances that I just want to point out and how they affected the game. Etzebeth, when he was playing for Harlequin, he was a different player to what we have now. I'm not sure if it's the what would you call it? The tactics or otherwise. But he's back to bashing. When I was playing for Harlequins, he was, offloading, cutting the line breaks, and setting up players on the outside. He had Julius on the outside, one of the most exciting centers that we do have in South Africa. And Julius got substituted without doing much because Etzebeth was bashing the whole day, just running into people the whole day. I said Etzebeth, Esterhuizen, Etzebeth was man of the match, which was commendable. Last week he had an injury that a lot of people thought was going to take him out for quite a long time, reasonably, like 2 or 3 weeks or whatever. But he was back today and he had a pretty awesome game. He tried. He really, really tried. I think, the energy that he had, of course, he hasn't played like 80% of the season, but the energy that he had, he really, really gave us. And maybe it would have been funny if he wasn't playing because he was inspirational, even though the Sharks kept on dropping the ball. They just didn't have any attacking flair of any sort in the whole game. But Etzebeth did try, so really impressed with him, and hopefully maybe when Sia is back as well. I think he was taking a break, but when Sia is back, I think maybe they can influence the team better. But I was highly, highly disappointed with Hendrikse. And this has been going on for quite some time now. Hendrikse is so slow at the pace of the ruck. Even when the ball is available, he'll just stand around talking to the referee, talking to the forwards, setting them in place, talking to them. And I remember there was a time, I can't remember who, I think they were playing Connacht or something. One of their last games on the tour, the Sharks had a scrum and they won the scrum. The ball is at the back with the 8th man. Instead of Hendrikse taking it out, he puts his foot on it and he starts talking to the ref. The other team pushes over and they win the ball back. I think they won a penalty or something because when the Sharks tried to recover the situation, they messed up somewhere. He is so slow. I'm not sure if it's not only with the Sharks. I've seen it with the Springboks as well. And when he came in, I remember he came in, Faf and Reinach were still the top 2 guys in the Springboks. I think his first 2 games were against Argentina. And I was pretty excited because I felt he was a cross between the two, where Faf kicked a lot and Reinach ran a lot. And he was a cross between the two. But now he's just a cross of nothing. 0, 0, 0, 0. And the momentum and the way the Sharks, how they don't seem to be aligned as a team and working together. They seem disjointed. And he's one of, I'm not saying he's the only one, but he's one of the main problems because he's the linchpin between the forwards and the backs, and he can control the tempo of the game, and he doesn't do that. I'm not sure why. It's just totally mind-boggling, some of the stuff that he does. It helps the other team set up their defense so that when we when he finally decides to take out the ball, their defense is set up, so we can't really do anything about it. There was a period during this game where the Sharks went through 21 phases, and he was just dropping onto the first guy. It was just one of runners. I think the Sharks during that 21 phases, they moved like 5 meters. It's crazy. I don't know, man. I've never played the highest level, but seriously, there's something wrong. When the team is disjointed and the scrum half takes a long time to actually get the ball out and doesn't try and help the team pick up steam and pick up rhythm. So I don't know if I think Williams is injured, but we seriously need a change, or he seriously needs to change something. It's not working out. And maybe after that, let's talk about the atmosphere of the game. Remember, I said to you guys, the first points were after 38 minutes. In the second half, the fans started singing Shosholoza. This is during the game. Not a stop in play, during the game, the guys are playing. Started singing Shosholoza. I also noticed that during the penalty kicks, the fans, most of them were on their cell phones. And the most scary one was that Supersport started playing 2 games. I think there was a Leicester game also on the other side, one of the channels, and Supersport started showing 2 games. I think it went on for some time. I think 2-3 minutes or 4 minutes or something like that. That was crazy. Even the director at Supersport was like, nah, man, you know what, let's just see what's happening with Leicester and see if we can get some excitement. That's how boring and disjointed and frustrating the game was. Frustrating. It's sad. And I know that's just the players that are on the field, but it just seems like there's also some input from the coaches that is just not hitting. And this is not just this game. If you've been watching URC, you could be complaining about the same situation in any of the Sharks games. It just doesn't click. There's just something wrong. And most of the time, the buck stops with the coach because the players are there, and most of them, like I say, 9 Springboks in the starting lineup, 3 on the bench, 4 players that have been in alignment camps in the past year. So the players are there, the talent is there. What's the problem?